Hey everyone, we're live on Saturday, Chris's time. So big thanks to Chris for coming on, Thrift Beast CQ, hanging out with us all the way from Canada. So welcome to the channel, Chris. And that's a rookie mistake there. That was my my mobile that just went off. So it happens to the best of us. So welcome to the channel. Thanks for spending some time with us. And,
always good to see you, Chris.
Yeah, Canada, reselling in Canada. I'm keen to find out a bit more. Yeah. Do you want to introduce yourself and let everyone know a little bit about yourself and your channel and where it all began for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Chris. My channel is Thrift Beast CQ, and I've been starting the whole reselling game probably since end of March.
Yes.
And ever since then, like it's been definitely a whirlwind of things going on in my life, but I really enjoy doing it. It's once I found out about this whole like system, because like at one point I was trying to find some sort of side hustle to try to be able to go along with my full-time job, and luckily I mean, I was doing things like Uber and like Instacart and stuff like that, and luckily I found out about reselling. I think I was watching it was Gary V, and I learned more about him on YouTube, and then just dove into it more with other resellers, and from there I just said, okay, let's just do it. Like I know I don't have a lot of money, but I feel like I have nothing to lose right now, so I'll just dive in and do it right now. So
just do it.
I think that's a lot of our stories is sort of how it starts. We find someone that we sort of watch and learn from, and then you get cracking. We'll say a quick hello to everyone that's popped in the chat so far.
Hi everyone in the
chat. Looks like we got Karin. Thanks for coming along. Tommy Bernhard. Thanks.
Still
Tommy.
Saturday. They've got the whole weekend ahead of them.
He's still up.
Saturday.
Look, Mom, hustling. Tracy's in as well. Marie.
Ooh, Tracy has a new picture.
Tracy does. Look at that. Oh, she does have a new picture.
Looking good.
That's an exclusive right there. Brad Diary of Flippers in. Oh, the chat just jumped again. Justin, thanks for coming in. Matt's popped in. And Flipping Aussie. Thanks everyone that showed up so far. I'm really keen to learn more about Chris. The man with the golden voice, as many have labelled him. Have you ever thought about doing radio? I reckon you do all right with that smooth voice you got going.
I mean, to be honest, I never thought about it. It's just I didn't really think of my voice that way, to be honest. And then when people noticed it and said, "Hey, you have a pretty soothing voice. You should probably think about doing something about that and start making money on that."
Yeah,
I don't know.
bit of podcast maybe.
I'll listen to you all day.
Nice.
Yeah, it's something that we've come to enjoy over the last sort of few months.
Yeah.
Go on.
You said that you were watching Gary V. I've been wondering, are there other Canadian resellers or other Canadian like side hustle YouTubes that you were watching? Because we've come across basically three of you.
Yeah, yourself, Jody, and Cliff. Obviously, is there others out there?
Yeah, so literally if you because I was starting off doing eBay, I searched eBay Canada. That was what I first tried to search for and tried to see who was there. And there's literally like a handful of us. There's not that many. So there was probably about, I'd say 2 that I noticed a bit more and that were putting in a lot more content. So one of them was, I think his name is Chris. And then he has a channel, Chris's Treasure Chest. And another one is his name is Kevin, and he has the channel Thrift Union. And so he does more clothes, and then Chris does more like unique items, antiques and stuff. So it was the perfect medium for me because I wanted to learn about the hard goods and I wanted to learn about clothing too. So it definitely helped me throughout like me and my journey trying to learn to sell these types of things. But and then
mostly clothing hard goods.
Yeah, so it was mainly hard goods in the beginning, and then I transitioned more into clothing, and then until now, I'm doing a bit of both now.
Yeah, I think as you sort of grow, you sort of expand your knowledge, and you start picking up those items that at the start you would have just walked past. So,
try a bit of this and that.
How do you find, like, I guess as an Australian, we sort of think of Canada as like, cold and icy. And how do you go about sourcing? Like, is there a lot of op shops around you that are easy to access? Like, what is it like reselling in Canada?
Luckily for me, because I'm in Toronto, there is an abundant amount of thrift shops around me. There's literally like one probably within like a 5-mile radius of me. So I mean, there's definitely probably around 10 just within 10 minutes away from me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I can literally do a day out of it and just go to all 10 if I wanted to. It's just I don't have that much time because of my daughter. I got to pick her up from school right after. Like, I don't have much time really to do it. I only give myself like a set amount of time in each thrift store, and then after that, I'm like, okay, if I'm just gonna stop everything and I'm gonna go to the next one because I don't want to like mess up my schedule. That's the main
Go in
thing.
and get the very best items onto the next one.
Exactly.
And do you find there's like a specific sort of item that you find a lot in Canada? Like, do you find a lot of like snow gear that's been donated back to the good, like, I don't know if do you have Goodwill and stuff like that over there?
Yeah, we do have Goodwill too. So we have our main thrift stores are Value Village, and then we also have Salvation Army and Goodwills as well. Salvation Army Goodwill are like actually one store, so but there are several as well around me. But it's mainly Value Villages that are practically everywhere around where I live, at least.
Yeah, right. And do you find a lot of that sort of snow gear and stuff like that, or is there?
Yeah,
other stuff
I do notice a lot of actually like snow, like the ski boots.
Yeah.
And a lot of hockey jerseys too.
Oh yeah, because Canada's a hockey mad. What's your favorite NHL team? Like,
I mean, I gotta go with the Leafs, the Toronto Maple Leafs, because I mean I live here. But I'm more of like into basketball ever since like for a while now, even before they won the championship last year.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit of both, but I'm more basketball than I am hockey.
Yeah, right. I thought like hockey was the national sport of Canada. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I know about garage sales.
Yeah.
You might not get out too many if you are spending time with your daughter, but are they an option or they're an option for half the year?
I mean, there are some, but it's definitely not as many as I think there is. Like I try to take a look at different community groups on Facebook and see if there's any garage sales or yard sales. A lot of them are in the east side of where I live. It's probably about half an hour to 45 minutes of where I live. But I mean, it doesn't happen too often. Like literally, we have this small window between, I'd say, maybe May and August are the main times we have a lot of them. And then they're scarce, like every like one will pop up every now and then after that.
Yeah. And do you have to sort of stock up for those winter months? Like, do you have a backlog where you just like stack it up for the winter and list it death pile wise?
Death pile.
I mean, I do. Yeah. Like, I'd say because I don't do it as much. I try to get a bunch of stuff. Because I think I probably do it about 2 to 3 times a month, like my sourcing. So it's not too often that I'm doing it. So when I do it, I'm going to grab a bunch of stuff, and it'll likely last me for the month, if not the next 2 months to list.
Yeah, right.
I think that's the way to do it.
Yeah, especially when you're like living in that sort of environment where half the year you probably don't really want to be going outside too often.
Get the good stuff when you can, keep it there, and then you've got a nice little mountain that you can work through.
Yeah.
What are some of your biggest challenges of reselling in Canada? Obviously, firstly, I would think weather, but are there other challenges? Like, I know postage is quite difficult for you guys as well. Are there other things that are really, really tough?
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, I would say eBay Canada is not heavily used by Canadians. I'd say it'd be more with the Americans that use it way more than we do.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so a lot of the time when I do sell stuff, probably about 85 to 90% of my sales come from the US. So I try to make sure that I put in the right pricing so they don't get scared and up in the US. A lot of the time, like you said, the postage is expensive over here. So luckily there are options out there here, and that'll allow me to provide a lot cheaper rate for shipping.
And you I've heard you talking about a few times. So you've sort of worked out that there's a company that takes it across the border and then ships it from US. Is that right? Is that how it works?
There's a bunch of them here, luckily, and so their whole process is they have drop shops that we send them the packages, and then they have a driver that sends it all the way to Niagara Falls, New York, which is about a couple of hours from here, and then from there they send it to USPS, which is the U.S. Postal Service, and that will allow us to use the USPS rates as opposed to the Canadian rates.
Thank goodness for that service. We just can't even imagine that. There are no neighbors for us, just water.
And I was just like, I remember Cliff talking about before he'd worked this out that it cost him like something ridiculous to literally send something to his neighbor. So it's good that you sort of have worked a way to keep things cheap. I suppose still locally it'd be quite expensive though, yeah?
It is, yeah. So I mean, like sending a DVD to someone, I don't know, 5 minutes away from me, it's still about $11-12, which is kind of ridiculous. That's like the cheapest option.
That cuts into your marginal a lot. If you're offering free postage, do you usually charge for post on top of your buy it now price?
Yeah, always now. I used to try to do free shipping, but I noticed it cut into some of my profit now, and I didn't want to do that anymore. So I noticed a lot, like with my profits starting to increase a lot more ever since I just started charging for shipping.
Yeah, thank goodness. Do you do any auctions or mostly buy it now?
It's very rare for me to do auctions, to be honest, because I've had experience trying to do maybe like a couple, and I mean, maybe it's just the items that I'm probably getting that are not that great. But a lot of the time, if I'm going to do it, it's probably just to get rid of the thing. I don't really find,
We in Australia, I think it's much similar. Like auctions isn't really a high go-to sort of way of selling stuff. It's usually buy it now because of our population. So what is the actual population of Canada?
Trivia.
I want it to the exact number.
Oh gosh, I have no idea. I know in Toronto it's probably about 6-7 million, I think.
Wow, I'm going to do a quick Google. Canada.
We need to know.
Don't quote me on that.
We'll see how close.
Looks like Canada's population is 37.59 million. So that's
I was way off.
That's Canada, not Canada.
All of Canada.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Which is about 9 million more than Australia. So I probably wouldn't have picked that. But it is a vast country, I suppose. It's just sort of
we're similar that way.
Spread out and people in certain spots. We're talking before about so you're in Toronto, and we're sort of talking about Jazzy's sister who's working up in Whistler. And you're saying that those two places are probably the more expensive places to live in.
Absolutely, because BC is known for like their tourism as well as Toronto. So a lot of the time they tend to be the most expensive when it comes to cost of living. Everywhere else there's not much of a big ticket thing to go to, so it's just a lot more cheaper, I would say, compared to the two provinces.
So imagine living there and living with a young family. It's pretty handy to have a bit of eBay money coming in.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like you have no idea how much it's helped me. Like on probably in October, it was October, I actually got laid off from my job, and I didn't know what to do. Like I was hopefully just trying to work my eBay out. Luckily, I had enough money in there to help me along the way. And lucky for me, December, I did end up finding another job. And so if it wasn't for eBay, I wouldn't have anything.
Yeah.
Such a safety net. So you've tried also Uber and what was the other one that you said?
Yeah, it was called Instacart. So you do like grocery shopping for people and then you deliver it.
Right. Do you have anything else on the go at the moment?
Right now, like I stopped doing those for a bit, and then I did a bit of Uber Eats as well. But other than that, that's basically it. I'm just doing eBay and Amazon mostly, and then my full-time job.
Do you with Amazon? Do you ship into the States, or do you use Amazon? I'm presuming it's in Amazon Canada.
Yeah, no, I exclusively just do Canada only because there's a lot of things that I'm ungated with. Using Amazon Canada as opposed to Amazon in the US.
Yeah. Do you think you would ever move into US Amazon as well? Like once you sort of get a bit more settled and can find a bit more time on your hands, which I guess is really hard with a young daughter and a full-time job. But do you think you ever sort of move into other markets as well?
I mean, I'm not gonna rule it out. I'm just for now. I'm still trying out Canada to see how it is. Like I'm enjoying sourcing like DVDs and box sets and sending those over to Amazon Canada, where in the US I wouldn't have been able to.
Right.
And they're selling well for me. Like I get them for about at most I'll get them for about $5 to $7, and they sell for about $40-$50 on Amazon.
That's quite nice.
You can't complain with that. So you mentioned that you have Amazon there as well. Do you have other platforms available to you in Canada? Like, do you have Poshmark and Mercari and stuff like that as well?
Yeah, I tried a bit of Poshmark. I do some clothing and a bunch of my mugs too, like because I know they started doing hard goods now, but it hasn't been that great lately. Just because I know it's something where you have to like keep sharing your closet and stuff over there, and like honestly, I don't have the time to do it, and I'm just worrying about really my eBay and my full-time job mostly, because I'm still learning my full-time job too at the same time.
Yeah, so you're busy, man. You mentioned before we went live that you actually haven't been sourcing for a while because of your family and your new job and all that. So how are you maintaining that? I know I'd be absolutely itching to get out.
I know. No, you have no idea how crazy I feel sometimes for not doing it. But I mean, luckily there are other things that have been helping me along the way. Because I mean, I had a family member like come to me say, "Hey, I have a bunch of stuff. If you're willing to like look at them and sell them if you want." So I made like it was my Beatles stuff. Like it was the same guy that got me a whole bunch of like electronics and the Resellers to sell. So he brought them to me, so I didn't have to go sourcing or anything to do that.
That's awesome.
That is really handy.
Looks like we've got a few more people dropping in the chat. So if you guys have any questions, Chris, along the way, please drop them in. Looks like we've got Internet to Flippers dropped in. Thanks for popping by. My mum's in. Hi, Mum. Toby's in as well. Looks like Mel's dropped in. Hey, Mel, thanks for coming along. Like we said before we went live, it's always an awkward time this time of day here in Australia.
You never know on a Sunday.
Lunchtime, but
really appreciate everyone coming along.
Thanks for coming on.
Haven't subbed to Chris. His link is in the description. Awesome channel over in Canada. It's awesome to see like the differences between not only them and us, but them, America,
and the US
us.
And us.
Is there sort of like a specific type of item that you would tell Australians to look out for that Canada like is sort of readily available in Canada that you don't see us sort of pick up at all? D Squared is a Canadian brand, isn't it?
D Squared? I think so.
Yeah, that's a high-end brand though.
I've only found it maybe twice, but it's a big maple leaf.
There's I forgot the name of the brand, but I know it's Canadian. I think it's like I don't know if you guys have that, but it's like a winter clothing type of thing or for outdoors. ARC.
What was it? Sorry, it like glitched out.
It's called Arc'teryx.
Arc'teryx, no, I haven't heard of that one before.
I'll be looking now though.
There's some hot tips.
That's like
cold tips.
It's like outdoor clothing and like winter jackets and stuff, but they do well.
Like kind of like a North Face type.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a lot. I think some might be a bit more expensive too, but
Those sort of duck down type really thick coats are always like good to look at because there's a lot of brands out there that don't really get found a lot but are worth quite a lot of money
and are made well.
You definitely if you find duck down stuff, have a look at it because
Canada Goose, right? Yeah, Canada Goose. If you find Canada Goose,
there you go. I think Drew.
I can't believe I forgot that. Sorry.
Found one of those a while back. Actually, Drew from Drew's Reselling Metal Detecting, and
nice.
that was very expensive. Canada Goose.
Yeah,
the kid sitting on Jazzy's lap. Yes.
Oh yes, she was knocking on the door.
She didn't want to stay outside, so
not happy.
We had to let her in.
One thing I want to know how you found in Canada is a Steve Irwin Funko Pop.
Yeah. What?
How did you come across it?
I found it at a Toys R Us.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know. I just totally got lucky with that.
It was an awesome little find, and thanks heaps for bringing that on to the charity live as well. And
yeah, Chris actually donated that, so
yeah.
really appreciate it. It was very cool and very appropriate.
Yeah, and that's kind of partially what sort of brought us to today is just the generosity that you show, not only by being there, but sharing it around and being a part of it. So thanks heaps for being a part of that charity auction. We really appreciate all the support.
Yeah, please do send to Chris if you haven't already. I'm sure you all have, but he is genuinely just such a kind person, and we really appreciate that.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, no problem. I wanted to help in any way that I could, because I knew it was for a good cause, and I just wanted to help out the best I could. That's all I could think of.
Oh, and that I went to Callie as well, which was really cool. And I know that she tagged you and us in it when she got it, and she was stoked.
Yeah.
Happy customer.
It came really nice. It came okay, so luckily it didn't get damaged or anything.
Yeah. So yeah, we sort of talked a little bit about what it's like in Canada. Do you collect anything as well when you're outsourcing? Do you sort of go look for specific things that you collect as well?
I mean, ironically, I do collect Funkos that I see on at thrift stores, because I didn't really do much collecting with it, but then I just kept seeing more and more, and I was like, maybe I just start collecting, because I did always want to start collecting it just because I thought they were pretty cool, and I'm a geek, but whatever. But I just wanted to, I don't know, just try to see how many more I can find. And then I managed to find one that was actually worth a lot, and I didn't really have much attachment to it. So I ended up buying that thing for under a buck, and it sold for $100. So
yeah, best of both worlds. Keep some, sell some.
Funko are super up and down like that. You find the standard ones that are may sell for $15, and then you find that one that's $100, and you're like, why is this?
What is it about that one?
There's chases and rare stuff, but you just why would someone pay that much for a Funko Pop? It's crazy.
Hey, don't question it. Just
sell it. Yeah, just list it and let it do its magic.
Let it ride.
Absolutely. I noticed that Bumcrack Picker has popped in and has dropped your link. Thank you very much.
Thanks, VCP. There is his link. So you guys can click on that, head over to Chris's channel, check out some of his awesome content.
Yeah, and he's got a cool live coming up as well, I believe.
Yeah, there's a few coming up, actually. Do you want to talk a little bit about, I guess, firstly, why did you sort of get into YouTube, and what are you looking to do in the future with your YouTube channel?
Yeah, so I mean, I think a lot has changed. I think when I first started, because I mean, when I first started, I was like, okay, let's document my journey so I can stay accountable to what I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it became more of I'm getting messages from all these subscribers in Canada saying, "Hey, how do you do this? How do you do this? How do you do this?" And I mean, as much as I want to help them out, I want to be able to. I can't respond to everyone, unfortunately. But I mean, so I started putting out videos of how-to stuff, and then my processes as well, and it's definitely been helping them. And I noticed a lot more traction with a lot of these videos, especially my shipping ones. So I was throughout time, I was like, hey, my shipping ones are theirs, so maybe I should just double down on these and keep going and see where it comes, or what happens. And so luckily I've been able to score these interviews with different shipping companies. And I think they appreciate that the most, because there's nothing like that in Canada where people are interviewing these actual companies and seeing what they're made of, what they're about. And I was so appreciative and grateful for them doing that. And now I've become an advocate now of finding a way to help Canada save money on shipping. And that's I've been very passionate about it now, and I want to keep doing it. Finding other companies.
You're the guy now. That's awesome.
You're the shipping guy. And that's great. You're not only finding ways to save yourself money, but you're finding ways for your community to save money. So, it's very, very cool. You mentioned that there's sort of only half a dozen reseller channels over there, but is there a reasonable sized reselling community? You mentioned a lot of you are local subscribers, and that is there a decent community over there reselling?
I honestly think there is. I notice whenever I go to thrift stores, there are a lot of people that are there for picking. I can tell who they are. They just and be like, this guy's lurking at the showcase table. He's waiting for the next thing to come. I knew he's a picker as soon as I saw him. But yeah, there's quite a bit. And to be honest, luckily, what the stuff that I'm looking for is not what like they're looking for too. I try to look for more things that I never thought I would even think of looking for, like perfume, for example. Because a lot of the time when I see people picking, they're going for the jewelry. They're going for, if it's gold or something, then don't get me wrong. If I find it, I'll definitely take it. But like that's what a lot of the people I see get more, and books too. I notice that them get a lot of books as well.
Oh,
always searching for the next thing, the thing that no one else has thought of yet.
Yeah, but I don't think they make it as public though as like the handful of us that that do it on YouTube. But there's quite a bit.
That's interesting. Yeah, I wonder if it's going to sort of get bigger as it goes and grow and have more sort of content, because I think it's kind of like we're in a similar position in Australia. There's a few more channels around, but there's a lot of people doing it, but not a heap of people sharing what they're doing. There's a lot more starting to come now, so it'll be interesting to see in Canada if
it's catching, because once you see someone saying, "Oh, look what I found," you're like, "Oh, but look what I found!" Like, I want to join in. And
yeah, no, absolutely.
Do you guys have like a little Facebook group or anything over there that you guys hang out on? Or
yeah, there are. I think there's maybe one or two that I go to that are Canadian specifically, and then there's one. No, that's not really a group. That's just mainly me, Jody, and Cliff.
That's a group.
The boys chat.
Yeah, but other than that, there's only like one or two that I'm joined. I'm mainly in like a lot of the US ones, because there's a lot of people in those groups, and so if I need help with something, a lot of there's a good chance I'll be able to get help in those community groups. Yeah,
definitely. It'll give you sort of a point in the right direction, and
it's valuable.
Yeah,
for sure.
Even over here, like watching US channels, like shipping and all that's different, but you can still learn brands and stuff like that you might see in the thrift.
Sure.
So being part of those communities and seeing how people deal with certain situations also helps you learn new ways of like either whether it's packing or dealing with returns or bad feedback. Like there's always different takes on stuff. So
I think I learned something from every single person that I watch or that is in the same group as me. So every single person has something to bring to the table that you just hadn't thought of yet, or a problem you hadn't stumbled across but totally will.
Yeah, because one thing you actually don't really think about too is the way I price things as well. I try to price it the way that I know it will be reasonable for someone, let's say, international or in the US to pay for shipping. But at the same time, I'm also taking into account the dollar as well, because our dollar is not that great. So I always have to take that into account with the way I price things as well.
Yeah, it's interesting that you have to sort of think about all those little things as part of your like day-to-day schedule. And like here in Australia, when we post something up, like we will think about our price because we're lower than what the US is, so they're getting a good deal. But then our shipping is so expensive to get it over the US, so it's a very delicate balance, I think. So, I think you're right, and it's interesting that you have the same sort of issues, I suppose.
We had someone from Italy message us today, and they wanted a tiny item, a really small scout badge, and I had to tell them it's going to cost $29.30 Australian if you want us to post it to you.
Because it was tracked. Like we could send it untracked, but
if you want tracking, that's the cheapest.
Yeah, and even untracked was still like $17, $18 or something. Yeah. So now the cat wants to get out. So,
oh my goodness.
She's having a good time. In it to flip it, saying half the reason I watched 2AussieThrifters just entered the shot.
She's just left the building.
Lucky's left the building.
She's in and out.
She might be back later on. Never know with her. So we sort of talked a little bit about you're starting up YouTube and stuff like that. But what are your long-term goals with reselling? Are you looking like long-term to go full-time? Are you just always going to use it as a hustle on the side? Like what's the sort of 3 years time? What does it look like for you?
I think in the grand scheme of things right now, I do see it as a nice side hustle still. And I do, like, my goal first was to allow me to do stuff with that money, to like go places and stuff and travel and like take my daughter and my wife to like different things, like a movie or something. And so that was my main goal with that. And I mean, don't get me wrong, probably in the long run, maybe I'll make this full time. But just for now, I enjoy the rush of having the ability to have another source of income to allow me to do this, and it's been pretty comfortable for me.
Yeah, it definitely helps having that backing, so you can reinvest a lot into your business to to sort of, grow, which is sort of like the same position we're in. Like, we'd love to go full time one day, but
it is a different beast when you're relying on it, and with a young family as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a bit of an odd question, but I had to ask it. So here in Australia, everyone thinks that if you come to Australia, everything's going to try and kill you. So my question to you is, if you come to Canada, what's the most likely thing that's going to kill you?
Oh gosh, I'm going to say cost of living. That's the most expensive and scariest thing that you can think of.
Yeah,
but luckily,
it's the cost of living.
Yeah, I mean, there's not very many. I'd say maybe, like, if you're lucky, maybe a grizzly bear or like some sort of bear.
Lucky.
If you're lucky.
But like they're not as abundant in my area, at least. It's more like in the further east for me, maybe in like the deeper forests and stuff. But there's not much. Maybe a deer or two around here.
Canada sounds good.
Look, Mom's saying probably a big old black bear.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you have snakes?
We do, yeah, but I haven't come across like anything poisonous. It's more like what is it, garter snake or like a corn snake? Those are like completely harmless.
That's interesting. I just throw that in there because whenever we talk to everyone, someone's like, if you come to Australia, you're gonna die. Which is, we actually have a good story about that. One of Jazzy's friends came over and he literally almost died twice in 2 days. He was from England. He got heat stroke the first day he was here, and then he went to Uluru and tried to pick up a snake. So,
oh wow,
I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah, we tell everyone they're overreacting, but in that case, we're like, man,
that was more of him being an idiot than anything else.
He survived, and it was all fine.
Oh my.
A new question to our channel. And I really like this one, actually.
Yeah.
If you could change one thing about eBay, what would you change?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Oh my God. It's a bear.
I'm going to say I don't know, like there's a bunch of things that I'd say, like little things that I want to change. Like I'd say the whole interface, I'd say.
Just the entire thing.
We're saying only one.
It's a little painstaking, but also just how we have to list the shipping and the dimensions and stuff. Just as I know I'd have to do it, but I just find it annoying.
It just seems like it should be easier to select.
Yeah.
Definitely. If you guys have any questions along the way for Chris as well, please drop them in the chat.
This is your chance.
Yeah, we do have. We're going to do a little bit of we're going to flip Chris's rapid fire questions back on him. So
Nice.
I don't know if you guys caught up with Chris yesterday, but he had Look Mom, I'm Hustling on, Drew and Sarah, and he did a quick rapid fire question set on them. So we've sort of made a little bit of an adaptation to it. And we're going to go rapid fire. So
we need Chris's answers to his own questions.
We'll see how fast Chris is on the trigger finger. So you ready to go?
I'm ready. Bring it on.
All right.
Favorite place to source?
Thrift stores.
Go-to food when you're outsourcing.
Pizza.
Ooh. Favorite band to listen to while working?
Oh my gosh! Lately, it's not really a band. It's more of just an artist. Post Malone. I've been listening to a lot of him.
Ooh,
all right. I hear that. Night owl or early riser?
Definitely night owl.
Yeah, I think we kind of expected that.
I think that's probably the life of a reseller, I reckon. Except when you're getting up with Gary Sales, in that case, you become
oh yeah, for sure.
Adaptable.
We learned that yesterday. Heart Pickers has dropped in. Thanks, Ronnie, for popping by.
Hey, Ronnie. How's it going?
A couple more rapid questions.
Well, not so rapid,
YouTube or Netflix?
YouTube.
Yeah, I think that's us as well. Like, we've very rarely watched Netflix now. It's always alive in the background or watching someone's live back or something like that. So
there's just so much content. What is your least favorite task in reselling?
Listing.
That one was rapid.
He's like, bam.
No hesitation.
And best part of reselling?
Probably the sale for sure. Making
hearing that cha-ching come through the door.
Yep.
I really enjoyed those questions when you're asking. Look, Mama.
Oh my goodness! Oh, what the hell?
I'm so glad we've both done it now.
I apologize.
No, it's fine. I left my YouTube on. It's probably Cliff calling you. He probably needs some help with shipping, I think.
What the heck, man?
Looks like a few more people have dropped in the chat. Okay, Hassan, thanks for coming by. We said BCP as well before. Tommy is always in. Thanks, Tommy.
Tommy is always in. I don't think he sleeps. It's great.
Kent, good to see you, mate. Michelle, we said earlier. Thanks, everyone, for stopping by. As we said, we've got the Aussie VHS Thrifter. Rob popped in. I know he was hanging out with his mates watching some basketball today, so he did apologise that he wasn't going to make it, but he's snuck in. So
you made it happen.
Thanks for that. So YouTube started for you 23rd of March 2019, I believe, was the first day you uploaded your first video.
Oh, gosh.
How you mentioned that you sort of changed the channel from like what it was to more of a shipping based and providing that content.
Yeah.
What do you see the evolution of your channel going to? Do you think it's going to be doing a lot more of the interviews? Do you think you're going to start expanding and what you're doing? Like what's the sort of 6-month goal with YouTube?
So I would say from now it would still do like a lot of the thrifting hauls, like what sold and stuff, but I want to work on my editing and stuff too. I want to make my production a lot more cleaner, as well as a lot more like fancy looking compared to what I'm doing now, because the majority of the stuff I'm doing right now is all literally on my iPhone. Like I'm not filming anything with anything else. It's literally just the phone and nothing else. So whatever you see, all the videos that I'm doing right now, it's through that phone. And I can't keep doing that because you never know what's going to happen. Like I might have to use it for something else. And so I might grab a vlogging camera or something down the road and allow me to do that.
I think that's how a lot of people start it. Like the phones are good for the quality, but it's hard to like comp stuff and,
and film at
keep
the
on
same
top of
time.
stuff. So your quality is quite good then from the phone. Like that's impressive that you're able to like get that from a phone. Like,
do you have content creators who specifically inspire you? Is there someone that you really like to watch and kind of aspire to make something not similar, because you've got to be yourself, but along the lines?
So I mean, before I did reselling a lot, I mean, I still do this now, but a lot of the videos that I do watch are fishing videos.
Yeah.
And there are some content creators that I watch, they just do amazing recording and B-roll and all that to all their footage, and it just looks like something like a wedding video or something, but they're fishing. So it's ridiculous. So I don't know. I just find it so amazing, the effects that they use, and I just want to do that with my videos because I just find it super interesting, and it's something that I want to be able to provide better content for everyone to watch.
Awesome.
Yeah, we want to make what we enjoy as well.
A couple of viewers have dropped in as well. Hey, Lisa and Rob, thanks for popping by.
Hey guys.
So fishing, a hobby of yours, obviously.
Big time, yeah.
Nice.
Fly fishing, or like what's your game?
Mainly bass fishing, but I mean usually between like springtime and fall, I'll do like salmon and trout fishing.
Wow, that'd be really cool.
Oh my god.
Well, fun.
What's the biggest fish you've ever caught?
It's probably a Chinook salmon. I think it weighed about 45 to 50 pounds, I think.
Wow, that's like 20 kilos. That's a big salmon.
Yeah, it is. No, it is, yeah.
And do you cook up a lot of your catches, or do you release, or what?
It depends. Like maybe sometimes the salmon I'll take one, and then the trout I always take. But then the bass, not so much. They're not the best tasting one. Just depending on what I catch. There's walleye and crappie. Those are the best tasting fish that we have.
Tommy's having a bit of a crack at you, I reckon, from across the border. He said he can see you cutting a hole in the ice and just reaching in barehanded, snatching fish like Bear Grylls.
Hey, it's possible. I'm not gonna deny him on that. I can just go up north, probably about an hour and a half away, and there's ice fishing available for me right now.
Is that something that your wife enjoys as well?
Yeah, she enjoys the bass fishing more because a lot of the places we go to, they're kind of like some secluded beaches where you actually have to go into the water. So like you can kind of like relax into the water and then actually fish at the same time. So
That's
the water's
cool.
clean enough though. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not gonna. Clean enough to swim.
Ronnie's dropped a little bit of a change up on your bass fishing, but we'll just leave that one. Leave that one to the chat, I think. Lots of great fishing down here. Yeah, my family's big into fishing as well. So
Oh yeah, nice.
love a good fish.
I'm into sitting on the beach.
Usually beach fishing. Dad's got a boat, but yeah, don't go there as much as we'd like to.
Yeah, one of my videos I actually tried to record my fishing one time. If you ever find it, yeah.
It would be tricky, but that'd be great watching.
Yeah, for sure. Back to a little bit of eBay, I suppose.
Yeah, sure.
I do like talking about fishing, but I'm not a Rex hunt, so I can't keep that going too long. With your eBay, like, what's one of your best finds and flips so far, do you reckon?
So there's probably a couple of things. The first one would be the DVD VCR combo I picked up. It was I used the Let Go app on my phone to take a look and try to source, and it brand new in the box, not even opened, for $45. And I wasn't even going to try to bargain with her or anything because the return on it was probably between $500 and $600, but I got an offer for $400, and so I took that.
Take it.
Yeah,
that's an awesome flip, especially locally too. Do you find a lot of people post a lot of stuff? Like, do you have a big sort of Facebook Marketplace type thing that a lot of people let a lot of stuff go on?
We do, but I noticed a lot of those people selling stuff. It seems like they're resellers. Like they put it at a very high price for you to even make some sort of profit. So I just noticed that, okay, these guys are probably resellers. It's very tough to find one that you can tell that, okay, I'm just trying to get rid of it because they're selling it for the I'm trying to get rid of it price. But yeah, it's maybe like one or two for every 50 listings. You're gonna find that.
Just find that person like literally clearing something out that they
$45
don't really know about.
VCR combo. That's such a good return on investment.
Yeah.
Do you like to play it safe with things like that, or do you kind of do you take risks occasionally?
Yeah, I mean, I tried to. I think one thing I took a risk on was I would say oh my gosh, I'm not too sure exactly. Oh no, you know what? I would say there was a big thing of video games that I picked up. This was near when I just started, but a lot of the games were garbage games, and I didn't realize how garbage they were. There was maybe like 3 or 4 that got my money back, but then a lot of the ones that I still had, they're still here, and
but you got your money back.
Yeah, still, like I would like to get rid of them. Maybe I'll put them on like Amazon or something, or lot them up too. Yeah.
I think that's like the way you learn early on is you buy stuff like that and you experience like the time that you have to put into it, the effort you have to go into listing, and then you're like, okay, is this actually worth my time? Like, yeah, I may have made my money back, but
am I gonna do it again?
Made a huge amount of profit, and the amount of time I put into it isn't worth my time. So it's a learning experience for sure.
Oh
yeah, for sure.
Would you
like I started.
Going to
Sorry. Can
Go
you
on,
say that again?
Would you consider ever going into auctions, sight unseen, just buying something?
Oh gosh, I tried doing. We have some online ones that I tried doing, and I did manage to pick up a couple of things. There was like a couple of VCRs that I managed to pick up. I think they were selling them for. I think I was the highest bid at around $6, and then with the fee, it cost about $7. But I ended up flipping them for a good maybe $40, $50.
Nice.
Yeah, but that's the only time I really dabbled into auctions. But I want to get into it more though, for sure.
Is it like storage unit auctions and stuff up your way as well, or?
They do. It's just I haven't really like learned like where they are or like how it works really over here. I started off doing the online estate auctions first. That's the thing I've been trying to learn more about. And I mean, eventually I'll get there. I do want to learn more about storage units. It's just I know they can be a lot of work too, but
God.
yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, we've watched quite a few people do them down here, and we haven't got one ourselves yet. But when we talk to people out there, like, there's so much work. Like, you have to dump a lot of the stuff, so you have to be prepared, and you have to have space. Do you have a good space to put all your reselling stuff in? Or
Not at all. Like, it's unfortunate because I've probably occupied 2 out of the 3 rooms upstairs, and I live pretty much like you can see some sort of storage of like my stuff in at least one room in this house. It's ridiculous, but maybe eventually down the road I'll grab a storage unit. But for now, I'm just trying to see if I can reorganize my stuff to try to fit everything.
Yeah,
we've done that before.
Yeah, we hired a little storage unit for a little while when we were in the unit, because we had a little 2-bed unit before we moved here, and there was stock coming out of our ears. But yeah, now we're in a bigger space. It's definitely helped. Do you think you'll look at getting a bigger space at some point? Like, do you think you'll move out of that house, or is that like your family home, or what's the situation there?
Yeah, so actually the goal for me right now is to actually move by the end of the year.
Yep.
We're trying to look for a bigger space, and hopefully it'll happen by then.
Oh, definitely a good goal to have. And if you can sort of like stash away that profit from your business without sort of, harming it, then you'll be in a lot better position going forward.
That's true.
Yeah, for sure. I want to be able to dedicate like a nice, like a decent sized room, or even maybe like a storage area or a garage or something to have all that stuff in. Yeah,
it definitely makes a huge difference when you like a dedicated space to put things and list things, and you're not tripping over everything all the time, even though we still manage to do it somehow.
Yep. I find that I used to try and separate business space from living space, but I'm slowly just coming to realize that business is part of my life, and it's just part of the house.
Yeah,
it is hard. We have like bits and pieces everywhere, but slowly getting to a point where it's like more manageable and more efficient as
We've got a lot of organizing to do.
Yeah, and I think that happens when you move too. You kind of put something in a spot, you're like, yep, that'll work well, but then 6 months later you realize that it should have been somewhere else, and it's just reorganizing that space again.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
It's it's always tough, that sort of stuff, and moving house as a reseller, that'll test the best of us, I think. So
don't talk him out of it.
We still got 30 odd people in chat, so thanks everyone for coming along. If anyone has any reseller related questions or non-reseller related, there's a lot of
I'm an open book. They know I'm an open book.
Yeah,
there's a lot of byplay going on in the chat, a little back and forth, but no serious questions at this point. So Kent's saying, Chris, will your new igloo be 2-story? That's a bit of a shot below the belt, I think. That's a bit of America versus Canada stuff going on, I reckon.
We only use the finest snow for our igloos.
Yeah. Here in Australia, we have sort of a friendly sort of rivalry with New Zealand. It's Australia and New Zealand. Like, we always bag each other out, and we talk about their sheep and stuff. Is that you and America? Is it all friendly sort of byplay, that sort of stuff?
Not really. I mean, we're always the ones that get the tail end of things, where we're like, we're I don't know what it is, where we're just always depicted as the nice ones, and the ones who always end up apologizing for everything. Right. But I mean, to be honest, I don't really notice it, at least because I'm not really consumed to any of the differences or people trying to talk about each other's countries. It's just I don't know. I think both sides are all cool. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing wrong with being nice, Chris. That's nothing wrong with that.
We've absolutely loved meeting everyone from different places. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. How is the beetle haul going, Chris, from Bluegrass Picker?
It's been going slow. Just because I had them priced high purposely, just to see if I can get any offers or anything. But I did manage to sell one item today of it. It was like a Beatles autobiography book.
Nice.
So it didn't go for much. It's one of the smaller ticket items from the haul, but at least it's a sale. I'll take that.
Heck yeah.
And do you have like a guy? Like, have you found someone that's your regular go-to to pick up stuff, or is it mostly sourced through op shops and stuff?
I mean, definitely the majority of my stuff is through like the op shops or their stores here. I've been lucky to find that one guy, which is one of my like a family member who's been able to get me a lot of this stuff, like the Beatles stuff, and the electronics haul and the wrestlers. That wrestler haul though was amazing for me. Like, I definitely made over like $600-700 just from the wrestlers.
Awesome.
So that was a really good haul for me.
And you enjoyed wrestling as well. I know that you're going to have Rob on soon, and you're probably going to get pretty deep into that. But wrestling's right up there for you.
Yeah, I mean, I do not as much like in the today's product, but I mean, I was huge fan like with the stuff in the past, like the golden era, the attitude era. Those were all like my bread and butter type. Like those are my times where like I was growing up with that. It was such a good time to watch too.
What's your favorite wrestler?
I mean, when I was a kid, it was definitely Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And then when I became a teenager, I think it became probably The Rock.
Yeah.
And then,
I had a mate who was like very heavily into wrestling when I was younger, and I'd go around his house and would watch like The Undertaker and all of those guys like Stone Cold, Steve Austin. It was just like, he was like serious into it. He loved it. So.
Gosh, hello. Sorry, we have a visitor.
Hello.
What are you doing here? Go say hi. What's wrong? You okay? You okay? What's wrong?
I will keep up with the chat.
I did see Kevin pop in. Hello, Commonwealth Picker.
Hey,
Kevin.
Commonwealth Picker. Thanks for coming along. Nice to see you.
Say hi.
Crittlin's popped in as well.
Say hi.
Getting a hello from Canada. Oh,
say hi, Brad and Jazz.
Hello.
No? You don't want to say anything? She's a strong silent type.
That's all right. We've only got 10 minutes to go. So, yeah, if she wants to hang around, it's cool. She can come say hello.
10 minutes to drop your last questions in.
Oh, bye.
Bye-bye.
You're going to have a thrifting buddy in no time.
Yeah, you're going to train up your thrifting buddy?
Yeah, I take her with me every now and then. She's cool.
Cool.
Like, but she tries to grab everything, unfortunately. Like I'll put her in the cart, and all of a sudden I see all these like 20 new things in my cart without even realizing what's there. Like, I don't remember buying this.
Oh, boy.
You're like, how did this bill become $300? It's all these plush toys. Do you think that growing up around a reseller that she'll sort of become that as well?
I'd say
so.
Like, she's totally into like used toys. She's like she doesn't care whether if it's brand new or used. So
that's cool.
Yeah,
we've got a really good example of it down here. Zach and his daughter Lucy. Like she's a little bit older than your daughter, but
she's a hustler already.
Yeah, she's she's in some of his videos and like telling him to buy stuff and so
she knows what's good.
It'd be cool to see the evolution over the years of what happens there. So got a nice little offsider there. You'll be having her taking photos for no time, I'm sure. Get her doing the listing that you don't enjoy.
Oh God, yeah. I'm gonna
pay her a couple dollars.
I'll pay her in cookies. There you go.
I'd work for cookies.
I was about to say I would take cookies 100%. Kevin as well has his homeschool hustlers, so I absolutely love the concept.
Yeah, it's awesome. Keeps you out of trouble. So we've got about 5 minutes to go before we sort of let Chris back to his family and back to the grind, I suppose, reselling. Anyone has any last minute questions, please drop them in. Here we go. Every day 420. Do you think it's a good idea to buy a basic eBay store if I'm running out of free listings a month? What's your advice on that, Chris?
I mean, I would say it depends on how many items you have right now and how many you plan on listing. I mean, if it's something that you do plan on getting more items to list, then yes, for sure. Maybe not so. Yeah, I'd say maybe start off with the basic one, and then if you feel like you are going to be listing even more, then definitely try to grab another, like the next tier, if need be. But yeah, it definitely hung that option having an eBay store.
Yeah, and kind of opens up a few more features for you and stuff. And
it's that changing of gears, isn't it? You can kind of scale it back and try and maintain that level, or if you make the jump, then you start pushing.
Yeah, you got to sort of push.
Make it worth it.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
When I started, I mean, like, obviously you start off with only a certain number of items, but I was okay with 100 in the beginning, but yeah, it just definitely, I couldn't take that little number of items anymore. So, like, I probably called eBay the next month to tell them to upgrade my store.
What store level are you on now, and how many items do you have listed?
I have the basic store right now. My current like main store has about 250 items. I have a US store that has about 100, and then I have one just for specifically the Beatles haul. Just doing that separately. So I think there's only like 10 or 15 items right now in there. I got to list more on that one, but yeah, those are the main ones.
All down to listing. We gonna say something?
Nope, go for it. Go for it. I can see you're eyeing off a question.
I did have one, but I've lost it.
Oh no!
That's all right.
Thanks for dropping in.
Rob's going to watch the basketball, so definitely thanks for dropping in.
You're
right. All about the basketball.
Is Chris ever going to talk about bacon? Is that, I don't know is that an inside joke, that one?
I don't know. What kind of bacon were you talking about, Susie?
Everyone loves bacon.
I put everything on bacon. Like anything bacon wrapped is considered amazing.
Yeah, it's a delicacy.
I think Kevin was just saying he uses his cell for everything. Do you list on your cell phone, or do you just only use the desktop?
Yeah, I only use my cell phone.
I'm finding there's a
Yeah, we do only
one or the other.
Only phone, and I know that Cara does only.
I do wish that eBay would streamline it a bit so that the desktop and the app were more similar, because I can't go back now. Yeah.
Once you're in like a groove, it's hard to get out. Okay, well, quickly, I guess we've got a few minutes to go. So if you guys haven't subbed to Chris's channel, there is a link in the description. Head over there. Get him to 1,000 subs real quick. I don't think it's going to take very long at all.
I don't think it's going to take long at all.
Climbing fast. And you are doing a bit more of the live stuff recently. Do you want to have a quick talk about what's coming up for you and who's next on the agenda?
Yeah, absolutely. So this Monday, I'll be having Rob, the Aussie VHS Thrift channel, and we're going to be talking. I mean, we're still going to try to delve in a bit about reselling, but I think the majority of it is going to be on wrestling. We'll get more into that and take a look and see his past of what he did as a wrestler too. So stay tuned for that, guys. It's going to be an interesting, for sure.
He's got an interesting backstory and quality guy too. So that's going to be interesting. So Monday, that's coming up, is it?
Yeah, this Monday in North America is
so it might be Tuesday
at around
out on Tuesday.
Yeah, so it's 9:00 Eastern Standard Time here, and then it's about 10 a.m. at where Rob is.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, that is with all the different time zones over here as well. That'd be really cool. And I think, like we were saying before, like having those lives and stuff, it brings in new people, and you learn a lot. So it's really awesome. Did you find a question?
I did just see Matt saying, is there a benefit to having different stores for specified items, or can a mixed bag listing work just as well? What do you think, Chris?
That's a good question. I mean, to be honest, because I've been just testing out a lot of these things, there are certain items I find that sell a lot better for me, let's say in the .com store as opposed to the .ca. So what I find doing is a lot of the unique items that I find, I end up putting them in .ca because I notice that Canadians do still look for unique items. They do buy them, and so I tend to put it there, and then I'll put the shipping as a specific flat rate as opposed to calculated, so that it doesn't intimidate the international people that are purchasing the items. But like clothes and like the printer ink that I like, the haul that I picked up. I've been putting those on the .com store, and those have been doing well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it just depends on how you want to do it. I know that people niche down to certain stores and stuff like that. We've got 2 stores, but the main one is just literally everything and anything we can chuck on there.
Yeah, we kind of like to have a backup because all of our eggs are in one basket with that store and with the platform as well. But I think sometimes sellers use an extra store as well for specific things like your Beatles haul, just so that they can track the profits on one specific haul themselves.
Yeah.
But I think it's okay to have
whatever works for you.
Diversity as well, because people usually search for the item that they're looking for.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, that's an hour that we've managed to blow through, so it does go very quickly. Thanks heaps to Chris for popping by and sharing some of his knowledge of what's going over there in Canada with us. And
we've
his
been
eBay
looking
knowledge.
Forward to this one.
Yeah, it's been a little while coming, but thanks heaps for spending time with us. One more time, if you guys haven't subscribed to Chris, his link is in the description there. I'll also let you guys know that tonight we are doing the wide world of reselling with the Aussie VHS Thrifter that you mentioned before, Drew from Look While I'm Hustling, and myself.
Who you spoke to 2 days ago.
Yeah, so
awesome.
we're really looking forward to that tonight. 7:30 our time, 8 o'clock Drew's time, and 5:30 Rob's time. And I don't know what time it is in Canada, but I'm presuming it's probably going to be like 4 a.m. in the morning. So might have to get you guys to watch back if you can. But yeah, that should be really good fun. It's going to start off on our channel, and then it's going to rotate around all 3, so we all share the love. But it's just going to be us shooting shit, really. So should be a good show, I think.
I can't wait.
It's something different, but hopefully it does well. We've got a little sting intro for you guys, so check out.
Oh, nice.
Oh my goodness.
Once again, thanks, Chris. Do you want to say anything on the way out, or you sort of?
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys having me on. Honestly, it means a lot to me, and hopefully, I'll sometime down the road, you can come up on my channel as well, and then we can do the same thing.
Yeah, anytime we'd be glad to come over. What's that? A lot of Josh will be on our show tomorrow, Aussies, if you are free.
It's the worldwide of reselling.
Definitely check out Tommy's channel. That'll be a great chat. Love what a lot of Josh is doing, Josh.
Yeah.
So thanks everyone for coming along.
Yeah,
please
thanks,
Chris. Great content, growing channel, and wealth of knowledge.
And that smooth voice.
And if you need to listen to a nice voice, you've got Chris here. So thanks everyone for coming on today. And we'll see you guys hopefully again tonight, actually. But if not, on the next episode of 2Aussie Thrifters. And see you then.
Bye, guys.
Bye.